Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is just going to be a quick one. Audrii Cunningham is still missing. The search crews are out today. EquiSearch is still out there. So what time will it be in Texas? So it's going to be about 10:30 in the morning in Texas. So this is going to be a quick one. I am going to come back later if anything develops. If there's a press conference or anything like that, I'll be back. However, I found some dispatch audio that I want to play you. I believe this is genuine. It's only section. I got this from TikTok actually, but I do believe it's genuine. There's a whole bunch of things that are going around at the moment that are not true, in my opinion. I mean, nothing's been confirmed or denied by law enforcement about all of the things going around at the moment. But there's a lot. There's a lot. It's getting to that point in the case where there's a lot of people who are, wanting answers. There's people all over the world now who know about this case. And the Facebook group that blew up, it's an excellent resource, but there's just so much now. There's so much being written down. And while there's a void, that waiting time between, between now and whenever Audrii is found, whether she's found alive or deceased, there's a void. And as they are continuing to search the river, then it may be quite some time before there are answers if she is indeed in the water, because I've said many, many, many times now how much more difficult it is to search in water than on land. Water moves. Also, water is in 3 dimensions. You've not just to go, northwest, east, south. You've got to go up and down as well. So it's a massive, massive task to search that river, because it's not a small river either, and it's fast flowing. So they were this morning, Grizzy Hood News did a live stream earlier on, and she was stood on Trinity Bridge. So it's the bridge that goes over the River Trinity. So it's a little bit further south than the dam, which was where they originally started searching, where the cops found Audrii's backpack. So they are still there around the Trinity Bridge area today, this morning, right? Like I watched a live stream from Grizzy less than an hour ago. Cecile, member for 21 months. Hello. Thank you for your continued support. We'll just give it a couple of minutes, because I did go early. I put the time to start at 4:40, but then I was ready because I had some files to upload and stuff. So I thought I'll give myself a little bit of time, but then I was ready. So I just went early. So I'm going to give it a couple of minutes just so people can come in. The tentacles are starting. I don't know about tentacles, but there's definitely lots and lots of rumors. It's getting a little bit out of control, but it always does in these cases. But that's why you just got to keep your wits about you. Back porch in the shade. It's 54 degrees. It's warm here today as well. It's about, I don't know what the temperature is. I would estimate maybe 10 degrees Celsius, which I think is maybe 50 nearly Fahrenheit. Oh, elsewhere, a summer suspect has changed their story. All right. Who's that? How can I guess? It's not Jodie Sue, is it? Just a wild guess. I don't know who. I haven't seen any summer news over the last couple of days. So I'll go and check it out. But if it's Jodie Sue, then I'm just going to shrug my shoulders and go, oh, yeah, okay. But, yeah. All right. We've got quite a few in chat. Oh, there we go. Jodie Sue, after the 46-minute mark. of the Dragon Live. All right, I'll go and check that out later, if I can be bothered. We said happy 21 months to Cecile. Good evening. It's nearly good evening here. It's 20 to 5 in the PM. All right. Okay, like I said, not gonna dwell too long. I'm gonna make this listenable for people who are on the replay. So I'm going to play some dispatch audio. First, I'm just going to show you that I've started to organize my screenshots. Yay! So I've now got a little file with screenshots in. So I've got the Amber Alert. I've got some pictures of Audrii. That's Cassie, Audrey's mother. We've got the truck with the license plate number. We've got that map, that route map. So if you're anywhere on this route, so it's quite a few miles. If you're anywhere on that route from 3 a.m. onwards from Thursday, February 15th, please check any cameras you've got. Dash cam, trail cam, doorbell cam, any cam that you have possession of, check if you are anywhere around that route. The cops want that information. So here's the suspect. If you saw the press conference yesterday, I live streamed it. I played it twice in the same live stream. So they said that there is one and only suspect, which is this guy, Don Stephen McDougall, known as Stephen. I bet he's called Stevie or something to his friends. He looks like a really nice chap. That's his documentation for his enticing a child. That's his current incarceration details. He was taken into Polk County Jail on Friday at 11:50 p.m. for aggravated assault with a weapon. Cops confirmed yesterday at the press conference that this is unconnected to Audrey's case. I think he does have friends. There's pictures of him on Facebook with people who look very pally-pally with him. So, yeah, I think he does have friends. I've got all the screenshots in now that were exchanged between Cassie and Stephen. Got them all in order in case we need to read through them again. And this may become relevant because when we play the dispatch call, you're going to see why I've titled this as I have and why these screenshots I think are going to prove very relevant to the case going forward. So I've got them all in there. So for those of you who are brand new to the case, who don't know anything about these screenshots, I did read them through in a previous live stream, but they were exchanged between Stephen McDougall, the suspect, and Cassie, who is Audrey's mother, on the night before she disappeared. So that would have been February the 14th. Well, the day before she was reported missing, should I say. She was reported missing around 5:30 on February the 15th. But he was trying to arrange a meeting between Cassie and Audrey. And Cassie was very mistrusting, and quite rightly so, because I think they were trying to set her up. And I believe that even more now I've heard this section of the dispatch call. So these are just some pictures from yesterday from the search. This is the FBI at Long King Creek with evidence bags. So carrying a few things away. They said at the press conference that there was some evidence. They didn't want to talk about what they got, but not a notebook with send help written on it. I do not believe that notebook with send help on is genuine. But If law enforcement come out and say that it's genuine, then I'll believe them. But otherwise, I'm not going to believe them because, like I said, there's so much going round that is concerning. Lisa, member for 15 months. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it is hard. It is a hard one. These are the screenshots that I read out yesterday that I had on my phone, but I didn't have on my laptop. So this is from Cassie saying just how horrible Dad's family are, just how awful it's been. And yeah, I believe her. I do believe her. So that's all I've got in that file so far. So I'm going to play this dispatch call now. No, not just yet. So it's about not quite a minute worth of dispatch. I do believe this is genuine. If it proves not to be, then I apologize up front. You know, I try to, if I believe something's genuine, then I'll bring it to you. If it turns out that it's a clever fake later on down the line, then I will apologize. But of all the things that I've seen in the last 24 hours, this is the thing that I do believe is genuine. But I can't prove it. I can't prove it. All right. I didn't download this myself from Broadcastify. Someone has clearly gone to the pains of finding this on Broadcastify, and I would have done it. I do have a Broadcastify account. I have like the premium service on Broadcastify, but I've got myself locked out of it. You know, like the other day I got myself locked out of Facebook. Well, yeah, I'm locked out of Broadcastify. Like, I can listen to stuff live, but I can't go into the archives because you need a premium account for that. And I suppose I could just set up a new account and pay again, but I just feel like I could probably, given enough time, I could probably crack it. Can you still hear me? Oh, there we go. We're back. We're back. I think we're going to have a storm. It's looking a bit dicey there outside. So the internet is never good as it stands. Okay, right. We are going to play this call. Like I said, it's sections of a dispatch. It's very interesting, though. It's difficult to hear, like as in the audio, but it's a dispatch call. Audio is always bad on dispatch calls. I will play it a few times, and I'll play it through in its entirety first, and then we'll play it and break it down. And the footage that I've put on it, overlaid it, is from Grizzly Hood News from this morning. So this is footage from, this is the Trinity Bridge, this is the Trinity River, and EquiSearch is there, and there's a bunch of searchers there on the water. So I've just overlaid that over the top. Okay, so I'll play it through, and then we'll play it again, and we'll play it as many times as we need to so we fully understand it. So you need to get your listening ears on here. I can turn the audio up, although I know it won't help. It's not great audio, but it is a dispatch call. So you need your listening ears on. All right, let's play it.
31 Lakeside Drive. It's going to be for a missing person. Caller states her 11-year-old granddaughter was dropped off at the bus at about 7 a.m. this morning and never made it on the bus and has not been seen since. 826. Female is about approximately 4'11", 86 pounds, blonde, long hair, blue eyes, last seen wearing a dark colored jacket.
10-4. Good.
Public service, her address and his phone number.
What time does this call?
1700.
To a missing juvenile. Called in from the county. They want us to check that address and see if she's there. It's supposed to be the mom's address. Mom does not have custody of her, has never had custody of her, and has made threats recently to kidnap her.
Hey, you text me if you have the mom's information so I can just on you.
That's clear, sir. I'll send you both of their.
So that's it's not a consistent, like it's been in sections, I think. But what is there is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Because the dispatch only has the information given to them by the person or persons who rang in the information, don't they? Yes, he was trying to set her up. As soon as I read those text messages between Stephen McDougall and Cassie Matthews, I just knew that something was in his mind. Exactly what, I don't know, but something was in his mind. Cassie knew it. Cassie felt it. A lot of people have said the same. And now we've got this. If it's genuine, and I believe it is, and I'll apologise to the moon and back if it turns out this is a good fake, because there are some good fakes of things out there. But let's play it again and let's break it down. Vintage Mama of 3, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. Did anyone else see video of him tattooing the suspects? It was up and then gone. Yes. Yes. I didn't save it, but a bunch of channels have got it. So, yeah, I have seen it. Grandma complicit. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Just let me take my hoodie off because it's hot in here. Here's the thing. Grandma and Dad might only have the information that Steve McDougall has given them. The video's still on TikTok. There we go. So, if Steve McDougall told Grandma that Cassie had been in touch with him, like kept ringing him and texting him for a meetup, she might believe what he's saying. That's where my thought process is at the moment. Might be wrong, but that seems the most logical at the moment. Because I don't want to believe that any grandma would willingly lie for a douchebag who'd murdered her granddaughter. I don't want to think any grandma would do that. Yeah, Audrii was tattooing him, yeah. So I want to believe that Grandma has been fed a lie. So let's play it again. I'll play it once more all the way through, and then I'll play it and stop it and comment. Let's do that. It's only dead short.
31 Lakeside Drive. It's going to be for a missing person. Caller states her 11-year-old granddaughter was dropped off at the bus at about 7 a.m. this morning and never made it on the bus and has not been seen since. 826. Female is about approximately 4'11", 86 pounds, blonde long hair, blue eyes, last seen wearing a dark colored jacket.
83710.
Good.
Public service you, her address and his phone number.
Hey, what time does this call?
1700.
To a missing juvenile. Called in from the county. They want us to check that address and see if she's there. It's supposed to be the mom's address. Mom does not have custody of her, has never had custody of her. and has made threats recently to kidnap her.
Hey, can you text me if you have the mom's information so I can just on you.
That's clear, sir. I'll send you both of their.
Okay. Let's play it and break it down.
31 Lakeside Drive. It's going to be for a missing person. Caller states her 11-year-old granddaughter was dropped off at the bus at about 7 a.m. this morning. And
okay, so that's the story that Stephen, that's on the Amber Alert. That's the story that Stephen McDougall told law enforcement. Law enforcement, I believe, know now that that was a lie. Thank you, Solo Sock, for the $1.99. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. Listen to the height. Yeah. Often details about height, weight, even age sometimes changes because they get some preliminary information and everybody runs with it. So from this, we also know that it was Grandma that made the call. Hi from England. Hi back at you from England.
And never made it on the bus and has not been seen since. 826. Female is about approximately 4'11", 86 pounds, blonde hair.
So 4'11", 86 pounds. So that's on the dispatch. So that must have come from Grandma. 4'11", 86 pounds. Although, I'm sure, hold on Grandma's Facebook, hold on, not that one. She's got a million. Never trust anybody who's got a million Facebook accounts. They're always up to something. Here, look. Hold on, we'll have to swap this over. Look at this. This is Grandma. My granddaughter, Audrii Cunningham, has been missing since 7 a.m. She's 11 years old, 4'1", 75 pounds. So there's a big discrepancy between 4'1" and 4'11". It's 8 to like 10 inches different. So which is it? You know, if you were like 1 or 2 inches out, I can get it. I understand. Yeah, early reports were 4'1" because it's on the Amber Alert. But this is what I'm saying. This is Grandma's Facebook saying my granddaughter has been missing since 7 a.m. She's 11, 4'1", 75 pounds. So I'm wondering whether the dispatch or at least the 911 caller misheard, right? Because they might have got it confused because she's 11. She's 11 years old. So Grandma might have said she's 4 foot. And then the 11 has got put in there. Do you see what I'm saying? Because, you know, she might have said she's 11 years old. She's 11. She might have kept saying she's only 11. She's 11. She's only 11. And then she might have said, the caller might have said, the dispatcher might have said, how tall is she? She might have said 4 foot and then kept saying she's only 11. Do you know what I mean? There could have been some cross wires. Could have been some cross wires. I don't know. But it's Grandma that has said 4'1", 75 pounds on her own Facebook. On the Amber Alert, it's 4'1", 75 pounds. Because that's what they've been told. That's what the cops were told. Because the dispatcher will get a record from the 911 call, and then the cops will have their own record. 11-year-olds are taller than 4'1". Not all of them. Most of them, yes, but not all of them. Some people are just naturally short. So whichever it is, I don't know. Does it matter? Probably not. No, it doesn't. If we were looking for a child that was most probably alive, then it would matter. It would matter a lot, because there's a big difference in a child of 10 inches. Like a 4'1" child can be dressed up to look very young. So if she was kidnapped and they were hiding her somewhere, like hiding in plain sight, you can dress someone up who's only 4'1" as like a 7-year-old. Whereas a 4'11" 11-year-old, you can dress them up to look older. However, at this stage, in this particular case, I don't know that it matters. And that's horrible to think, horrible to say, but that's just the way it's looking. And I hope with every fibre of my being that I'm wrong. But anyway, let's carry on with this call here.
Blonde, long hair, blue eyes, last seen wearing a dark colored jacket.
83710.
Good.
Public service you, her address and his phone number.
See, what time does this call?
1700.
To a missing juvenile.
So what time was this call? 1700. Now, the cops said about 5:30, but it may have been, I don't know, in between 5 and 5:30.
Called in from the county. They want us to check that address and see if she's there. It's supposed to be the mom's address.
So they got a call from the county. They want to check the mom's address. Now, this is the clincher.
Mom does not have custody of her, has never had custody of her, and has made threats recently to kidnap her.
Has made threats recently to kidnap her. So where has that come from? The only person that could have come from is the person who rang 911, and that's Grandma. However, where did Grandma get that information from? I would guess Steve McDougal. Because Steve McDougal could show Grandma his phone and say, look, she's been texting me. She wants to meet. She wanted me to meet. So whatever Stephen McDougal was doing, whatever plan he had, Grandma may well have bought that plan. Because I know you're not going to be able to read all of these, but if you read this whole text exchange that Cassie Matthews have made public, if you read this whole text exchange, you can see how mistrusting Cassie was. You can get a real good feel that it's him that's promoting this meeting and Cassie's mistrusting. But if you took, let's say, 1 or 2 of these messages from Cassie in isolation, you didn't show the whole exchange and you just give them 1 or 2 of these messages in isolation, you could easily be led to believe that it was Cassie who was leading this charge to get Stephen to arrange this meeting. Oh, yeah, he's very dumb because, Cassie, I bet the first thing Cassie did was give her phone to the cops. So not only will the cops have these exchanges, they'll also have any other correspondence that Steve McDougal has tried with Cassie. Because these, I think, are Facebook Messenger posts by the looks of it. So we don't know whether there was, text messages or calls via another app. There might be other messages via another app that we are not privy to. Like, these to me say it all. But there might be more that the cops have. So, yeah, he's been very dumb. Now, one of my theories, and this is speculation alert, this is just my theory. I need a speculation alert emoji for the chat, but this is just my theory, that he wanted to meet Cassie at the lake. Right, she wanted to meet in a park with Justin, her fiance, going along as well. He wanted to meet her on her own at the lake. So one of my speculations was maybe he was going to do away with Cassie and make it look like either a murder-suicide or that they've both disappeared, which would mean there will be this manhunt for this mother who has kidnapped this daughter who she doesn't have custody of. I think that's actually more likely, that he would make them both disappear so that would take the cops completely off the scent. Completely off the scent. But it didn't work out like that. She wouldn't meet like that. So he had to do, plan B, I guess, and just kind of wing it. But maybe told Grandma the story that he would have told Grandma had he been able to get Cassie on her own and be able to do away with her. Like throw her in the lake or something. So there we are. I think that's I think that's more proof, or more evidence, not proof, but more evidence that Cassie was being set up and Steve McDougal had a plan to do so. So this is premeditated, whatever, I don't know, attempted kidnap, I don't know. But it leads me down a very dark path as to why was he doing that? Why was he going to all of that effort to do that if something bad hadn't already happened to Audrii? So that's where I am with this right now. Other chats and other channels are saying the same thing, that she was set up. Well, she's saying that she was set up. She's saying it herself. Like right from the moment of reading these messages here for the first time, that's what my feeling was. And then we got messages from Cassie saying that she feels that she was set up. And there are a lot of people who believe her I certainly believe her, because that's the feeling I got right from the jump. But yet there's other people who don't believe her, who believe that she's got something to do with it. And I don't think she's got anything to do with it. I think she's a victim in all this. I think she's been a victim of that family for a long time. Whatever the reason was as to why she lost custody in the first place, like way back when, is immaterial. It's the fact that she's now even denied visitation. Like, the family will not let her see Audrii at all, which is a massive red flag. At the very least, it just shows how controlling they are. You know, for surely, you know, a court would grant visitation, even if it's under supervision. Even like people who've done horrendous things to their kids are granted visitation under supervision. But no, she's not even allowed. According to Cassie, the family will not even allow her to have visitation. And because that family have money and she doesn't, she can't fight it. Because they just bring lawyers to the table. She can't fight it. So she's caught in this catch-22 of, you know, she wants to get to know Audrii. She wants to have a relationship with Audrii, but she's just been fighting a losing battle. She's caught in this catch-22 that the family are all against her, but also the system's against her, because she doesn't have any money to be able to fight like they can. Who released these screenshots? Cassie did. Has Dad been in the media? No. We don't even know where Dad is right now. Presumably he's come home. Presumably he's at home, I would imagine, because he was away on a boat. Presumably now that his daughter's missing, he's come home, I would imagine. Grandma's also not been in the media. But these messages are very telling. So these were Facebook messages that Cassie was writing yesterday. I read these on my live yesterday, but I'm going to read it again, given now we've got this new piece of information. So I know you're probably not going to be able to see it on the screen unless you're on a big screen. Okay. My daughter was ripped from me by her father and his family a while back, and I've been denied any type of contact in any way, even refusing my rights of visitation with her, and threats to my life from her father and family. I've been stacking up my proof in such hopes to take her father to court with enough evidence of her being kept from me that the judge couldn't deny me the custody I fight for. Stephen is a stranger amongst other random strange men that have been allowed to live in the home of my daughter. Stephen was left in charge of Audrii as her babysitter when her father goes out on the boat to work, because the father's mother, Grandma Tabitha, is heavily mentally unstable and doped out on mental meds 24/7 and cannot care for her herself. This all information I've retained from other people around the family. If anyone, the slide thing's in my way now. You can't see it. Oh, I can read it off my other screen. Hold on. This is all information I've retained from other people around the family. If anyone they allow in their home speaks to me in any way, they are instantly cut off and never allowed on the property or around any of the family members again. Now, recently, Stephen started to message me about Audrii like he wanted to help me see her. So, again, we don't know how long he's been messaging her. All we've seen are the messages from the night before Audrii went missing. Stephen might have been putting this plan in place for a while. We don't know. That's speculation. Speculation, but, you know, we don't know. Okay. I've known the man wasn't right from the jump, but used him to get any information I could about my child. Last night, he messaged me trying to convince me to come alone without my fiancé to a park around the corner from my home. Now, in the text messages, he mentioned the lake. He mentioned fishing at the lake. That was actually his suggestion. That his first suggestion was the lake. But whichever way, he was trying to get her on her own. To park around the corner from my home to meet up with him and see my daughter. He insisted Audrii didn't like my fiancé and she doesn't even know him. Red flags are flying high to me at this point, but I play along with the idea in hopes to get my daughter in my sight and hands after school so I could call her father myself to come and get her from this man. I was only trying to keep her father from pressing false charges or giving me further backlash or my daughter further backlash for being around me. He talks about all the chaos they've put my daughter through at that home, and he isn't the only mouth I've heard these things from. Well, he tells me he is taking her to school this morning and then coming to me with her after school. I realised that wasn't the case, and I message, I guess today isn't going to happen, which is true. That's exactly what she messaged. And have a good day. While my fiance tried to contact her father directly due to me being blocked from let me just find it, from all ways of communication with him to let him know something wasn't right about Stephen and the whole situation. At 7 p.m, her father's mother goes to my fiance's mother's home. They live in the same neighborhood. They actually both live on Lakeside Drive, but at opposite ends. So it's not like right near each other, but it's on the same, it's in the same neighborhood. In the same neighborhood as they live, claiming she is missing and never got off the bus. Her father received a message from the school at 1 p.m. today, saying she wasn't at school, and he didn't even attempt to contact the bus barn until 5 p.m. They didn't contact the law until after 7 p.m. Now, I don't think that's true because the dispatch said 5 and the cop at the press conference said 5:30. So she might be wrong on that. How do you not notice your 11-year-old daughter hasn't made it home from the bus stop for 3 to 4 hours? Stephen said he was taking her to school. Then when she came up missing, he all of a sudden was taking her to the bus stop. Things don't add up. And why did he push so hard to try to get me to meet him alone? Very good question. I need answers and I need my baby to come home. This man clearly knows what's going on or where my baby is, and I know in the pit of my stomach. So that to me, there's a load more from her that I've not got yet. There's a load more on the Facebook group that I've not even looked at yet. Is grandma suffering from dementia? I don't think so. I don't think she's that old. By the looks of her on Facebook, she doesn't look that old. I mean, yeah, you can get dementia, you know, younger than like in your, like my dad got dementia. How old was he? Would have been like late 60s. So he died in his late 70s. So I can't remember exactly. But he had Parkinson's disease and then Lewy body dementia, not Alzheimer's. But yeah, you can get dementia younger, but it's rare. I don't think she's got dementia. Early onset. Thank you, Susie. Early onset dementia. No, I'm not. No, I mean, nobody should be condemning Cassie. Nobody should be condemning her. Although a lot of people are. Because, you know, they were like, oh, well, she lost custody, therefore it's her fault. Well, no, the fault is the person who hurt her. The person who is the only suspect. That's the person that we should be looking at. But we also need to be looking at the reason why this man was allowed to get close to Audrii. So the next people to blame along this chain are Grandma, because it's her that invited him in, and then Dad. Dad, I'm slightly less blameworthy towards because he works. You know, he's working, bringing home the pennies so he can raise his daughter. He's got to go to work, and his job means that he's away from home. So he's trusting his mother to keep his daughter safe. You know, you could. There's a lot of people in the firing line of blame before you get to Cassie, because it doesn't matter at this moment in time why she lost custody in the first place. She could have completely turned her life around. If the family wasn't so shitty with her, maybe she could have got, you know, visitation, have her for weekends, have a relationship with her. There's something very strange about a family completely denying a little girl contact with her mother. There's something very strange there. So before you start blaming Cassie, you've got to go down the whole list of people who were in Audrey's life, you know, starting from the closest all the way down the line. You know, are people blaming the school? Not that they should be, because, you know, if something untoward was going on in Audrey's life, she might have exhibited behaviours that were... there's going to be a storm. My internet, I've had to come downstairs to sit near the internet box, but the entire thing went down. I had to reset the whole stuff. So I am going to call it. I just came back to say I'm really sorry. Oh, what's going on there? Guys, am I back? That's me on my phone. I couldn't even come back on my phone because I was down to 3G. I felt like it was like 1999 again. Can you believe that? But yeah, so I don't even know what I was saying. Oh yeah, about blaming Cassie. Just don't. There's so many other people in this case that deserve blame. The only person who law enforcement are going to hold accountable is the person who did this. And then I suppose there may be, you know, if there was obvious signs of neglect or whatever secondary that there might be, maybe somewhere down the line. Usually though, in these kinds of situations, cops don't charge family members, even if there's, you know, maybe somebody involved in that child's life that shouldn't have been. Usually they don't. However, this is the situation. So, the dogs are barking now. I had to open my door and go outside, even though it's starting to rain, to try to get 4G. But I didn't even get 4G going outside. So let's just see if there's anything going down just before I let you go. Okay. Who have we got here? Candle Lee, a member for 21 months. Thank you so much. Please stop spamming the same messages. I don't know, Gemini, what messages are you spamming? What are you doing, Gemini? Gemini, behave. Big storm going to hit in Sacramento at noon. It's 9:33. What have you missed? You've missed the whole thing. You've missed me getting locked out because my internet went completely down. You've missed the dispatch call. Just go back and just be the replay crew. And you can listen on mega fast speed as well and get through it in half the time. Let's just see what's going on. If there's any news. I don't think there is at the moment. So I'm going to call it. And I will be back later. Yeah, she's still not been found. Still not been found. Michelle went dark. Yeah, I did. I went back to 1999. Anyway, I'm going to call it. I'll be back later if there's any significant developments, press conference or anything like that. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. So thank you for hanging with me while I went dark. Took me a minute. Thank you for the donations. Thanks as always to the mods. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care of yourselves if you're in for a storm like it looks like I am. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.